indeed a determined community. I do believe that there are a few other communities that on this kind of a day would have this kind of a turnout to celebrate Memorial Day. And you all deserve a round of applause for your dedication. Each of us takes a moment at Memorial Day to think about the people who have served in the armed forces. As we do that, I think we each also need to take some moments to think about the families of the people who've served in the armed forces. In this last experience in the Persian Gulf, my assistant had both of her brothers serving in the Persian Gulf, and another person who was working with me had 2 sons there. And so I saw very personally every day with people working for me the kind of concern and the kind of circumstances that those families went through. And so I hope that as we look at Memorial Day and the honor and tribute that we give to the men and women of the armed services, that we extend that tribute to the men and women and children who are the families of the armed services personnel. Because I think that as we as a country fight for freedom, fight for the kind of society that we all want to create, where each and every person has an opportunity to make a difference, has an opportunity to create a family life and to create a living, that we need to understand that it's those of us who stay here, as well as those who serve in the armed forces, who make that a reality.
To learn to live with the military terms and acronyms that I am very, very used to have heard day in and day out. Terms such as Patriot. It was a day where families and friends visited the cemeteries, the battlefields, and laid decorations for those who lay dead. In the succeeding years, men and women gave their lives on foreign soil defending the principles we hold so dear. Battlefields in Cuba became less evident. The armed conflict in Southeast Asia left many of us questioning the politics of war. But nevertheless, brave Americans fought and died. They were our brothers, our uncles, our nephews, our cousins, our friends. And we have decorated their graves as well. America has continued her presence in foreign lands.
Memorial Day ordinarily is a day of summer beginning picnics and parades, although not a parade in this kind of weather, but today it turned out to be a little bit damp, but we had a tremendous turnout along the parade route and here at the memorial for the services here, and I'm grateful to the people that they have taken the time out to honor the memory of our fallen men and women in servicemen and women.
And how long have you been having the parade?
Oh, we've had it just about every year that I've been mayor. The last 2 years have been good parades, larger parades than what we've normally had, but I think the people, there is a spirit of patriotism in the city, in the country today, and I think that that shows in the attendance on a day like this that we have such a crowd.
And can you tell us a little bit about the memorial?
The memorial was transferred here from Victory Park when the Acme store took over the old Victory Park school site. And I had asked Alan Baker after we had gone around and looked at community centers, because Acme was going to give us a community center in exchange for the land. We decided to come down here. We acquired the one remaining parcel, and I felt this would be a fitting point for the memorial because this corner had been just brush and weeds, hard to maintain, but it's really beautiful today, and it's a lasting memorial to the city now and to the men and women of our country.
Anything you'd like to say?
Well, I think that as you go by this memorial, the gentleman that we had as our speaker last year was the designer of the American flag, and he made a little suggestion I thought was real nice. He said, as you go by the memorial, take a look at the memorial and just say a silent prayer in honor of those service people who have perished in the wars. And I think that's a good way to close it.
Fire! Ready? Aim!
fire! Ready? Aim!